Stephen Benoit Jericho here, and as the heading says, having a little coffee with SBJ. Sort of an impromptu thing, of just hanging out here, drinking my Black Rifle coffee as advertised in last night's episode 14. And going back to episode 14, we had some great matchups, including one that involved the guest that jumped in with me here this morning. Sander, you there with us?
Yeah. Hey, SBJ. Thanks for letting me in.
Hey, Sander, that that was a hell of an effort again last night. Now, as a kid growing up, I was always taught that if you want to get better at something, be it basketball, be it wrestling, whatever it may be, chess, whatever, in order to get better at what you do, not only practicing your skill by yourself, but getting in the ring or getting on the court with people that are special, just considered on a higher level than yourself. And you have not shied away from that one bit. You don't back down. And last night you proved that once again by calling out and taking on one of the best in the game, King James Black.
I mean, I can talk long and hard about it, but I mean, James beat me, but I mean, I'm still not done with Black. I mean, he beat me to a pulp, but that King...
We've seen him do a lot worse, to be honest. I mean, you remember his match at TB5 with Devil Dog. That was some pretty brutal stuff. So, I apparently he may like you a little bit more, I think.
I mean, given our history, I mean, it's not the respect problem. I mean, I have respect for what James Black has accomplished in the business, and I mean, I think I can say the same for Black when it comes to me. But when it comes down to it, there can only be one tough guy in the business. And
I don't know about that. This is a business of tough guys. That's kind of the whole industry, right?
I mean, I agree with you. There are a lot of tough guys. I mean, look at, for example, Chris Harris. I mean, he has been the 3-dub heavyweight champion for almost an entire season. I mean, nobody could defeat him until Austin Eric stepped up and proved to be the tougher guy.
Now, a lot of people actually, well, you touch on that real quick. Well, we're talking 3-dub, where this isn't just about Sander Cool or SBJ today. This is just, two men chatting here, right? So we can cover whatever topics come up. So I want to dive into that real quick. So, handsome Chris Harris, or the Black Spade Chris Harris, or the shillelagh-wielding leprechaun Chris Harris, or the Red Devil, whichever he's going by today.
Let's just call him Chris Harris.
Chris Harris. Okay. So Chris Harris has been making strides in holding that title, and he has been all over the place and definitely leading the charge in 3-dub. Now, Austin Eric, definitely a good guy. He's been in 3-dub for a long time, but there are a lot of people that don't see Austin Eric as even being a main eventer. Do you feel... Now, if you're uncomfortable with answering this question, then fine. But do you feel that Austin Eric deserves to be in that main title picture? Not only that he came in and won, you throw a piece of bologna against glass 10 times and eventually it's going to stick, right? So,
right.
Do you think that he should even be on that main title scene?
Well, I mean, the three of guys know me. Austin Eric knows I don't put a put a piece of paper before my mouth. I say what I think. I mean, he knows me, and he even though he doesn't like it, he knows that I won't quit about it. But allow me to answer your question about that. Here we have a guy in Austin Eric that has been striding so long to win that big one. No matter how you think about it, no matter how you think about his tactics, he won that title. He won it and he defended it fair and square. No matter the tactics. So, do I think that he deserves to be in the main event? I mean, if you look at Chris' title reign, I think he's still got a lot of green to go. I still think that he has to go and prove that he can truly belong in that main event. But if he can play it a bit more fair and maybe fight a few more guys and have a reign like Chris Harris, I think he can definitely belong in the main event. But I
Agreed that
mean,
to me that main event guy, that main title holder should be the man. He should be the attraction. He should be the reason why other people flock to your company, to try to get after. Like, you should have a guy there that others strive to reach that pinnacle.
mm,
To me, Austin Eric just isn't that guy.
I mean,
Especially when there are names like James Black, there's Chris Harris. He did a great job as champion. We had, I know it's a hard blow, but guys like Dylan Mason, Corey Heck in the past. We've had, so many of these guys that should be that main title holder, that main attraction of a
mm,
company.
mm,
But I just don't see many more of them in 3 Dub right now.
I mean,
What's it
I
gonna
mean,
take to find it? Like, do you start with who's there and try to build that future
well,
champion? What?
well, SPJ, sorry that I have to interrupt you on, but this is where I'm kind of going to say where I'm going to disagree with you on that. Just look at what I did with the European Championship. I mean, I fought guys like Ashfield Victor, Mike Hansen, Daniel Roberts. I've had my wars with Justin El Peralt. I mean, with a living legend. I mean, I fought those guys all to just make that European title prestigious, to make it entertaining. And let's be honest here for a minute. And I'm just gonna say this, and I don't know if he's gonna watch this or whenever he sees this. The European Championship, even James Black said this, has been more entertaining and better than the world title has been the past season. I mean, and I can't disagree with that because here you have guys like Remy. I mean, I hate that guy. I mean, I would love to get another chance at him, but when I get a chance at him, I will definitely get my European title back. But I fought guys that can be the future. That can be the future of Takedown, Rebellion, you name it. They can be the future of that company. But they just gotta have that energy, that willpower, like me and Remy did, that me and Justin have. They just gotta have that, you know. You
A
just gotta
good
look.
feud can really do a lot to
Exactly.
propel the careers of the members involved in it. But once that happens, they've got to take that ball and run with it, right? You've got to
Exactly.
stay on top. You've got to, you know, give gi- give the rest of the division, the rest of the company, a reason to look at you, to look towards you as someone that they kind of want to almost emulate. They want to strive to be
Mm.
as good as you because they are not. They are not at your level. That to me is the type of person that should be a title holder, especially in a large company like 3Dub. Now, HWA, it's a separate thing, but look at who their top guys are though. These guys are guys that should be holding titles and HWA is a much smaller company. Like
True.
Gorilla
True. True.
Cruz, you got James Black is right
I
there,
mean,
who could
I
run
mean,
with a large company. James Black could be a champion in 3 Dub. He could be the champion in Lit. Those
yeah, yeah,
those
yeah, yeah,
big
but
companies. So
yeah, yeah, I get it. But here's the thing: do you really want a guy as James Black as your leader? Do you really want that? Because I mean, again, and I'm coming back to the point, we have seen a different side of James Black, and I mean,
scary
I don't
side, no doubt, no doubt.
exactly, and I've seen his change, and I mean, I gotta hand to him, guy's good. He gave
He
me a hell of a
sells
match.
tickets. He sells
True,
tickets.
true,
He
true, true,
puts
true,
in
true,
work. He's
true,
got
true,
that
true. That,
the star maker. He's got that quality, that swagger when he's doing his promos. He's even as a heel, he can be the face of whatever company he goes to. No matter if
true.
it's this darker black that we saw, what have you. But again, he's that pinnacle athlete and performer that you should have spearheading your company. Because a guy like him, even if people hate him, right, they are going to hate
Mhm.
him enough to want to come to 3Dub just to fight him.
True.
That's what you need as your champion, especially in a big company like 3Dub.
Yes, well,
That
I agree with that, but that's looking at the past. I mean, you should look at the future. Guys like Remy, guys like Tyler Race. I mean, I'm not the brag here, but even just look at me. D- d- you have a
we
set
aren't
of young.
talking future though. Like future main event guys in the present should be where you are, battling
Mm,
for your European titles, your
mm,
TV
mm,
titles.
exactly,
List of names. They're future guys, rising stars. They aren't
exactly,
there yet. The guys that are there are the ones that should have that title. Austin Eric's not there.
exactly.
Um, Chris
But he can be
Harris
both.
is up there, but
Exactly,
you guys
exactly.
need to somehow bring more people that can be the face. Now I see you are making strides. I'm seeing more
Exactly.
videos from you now. You have what
Trying to
it
work on.
takes to climb, to get out of where you are and get better, because I see you
Mm.
keep going after James Black, things like that, and
uh,
that just proves my point even more, because you see him as that top guy. Therefore, there's that target, and you are drawn to him, correct?
well,
Because of
exactly
his
yes.
actions and
Well,
where
not
he
only
is.
well, oh, surely because of his action, but also because of how I am. I mean, I always look up to fight. I always look to fight the very best of the best that the business has to offer. I mean, I've done
Exactly.
that. I've done that since, well, since forever. And I mean, yes, it gets me into a lot of trouble. And I mean, sure, you can say that doing this is maybe not the smartest way to go around it, but it's the way that gets you noticed. I mean, just look at, for example, my fight with Chris Harris. I fought Chris Harris in a very tough battle, and and despite Ramey's claims of not saying that he doesn't remember it, because I'm sure that when I talk to him, he'll probably remember it. But I gave Chris Harris a fight, and he wasn't prepared for that. He wasn't prepared to see like, oh, this guy can fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't quite prepared for that. And then you got a guy like James Black, who not only because of his actions, but also because of how he is, gives me a reason to fight him. Gives me a reason to prove to him that, hey, you need to look at guys like us. Don't forget about guys like us. We can be that future. That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, I definitely
I mean,
agree.
I could go on for hours about this, but I won't. But
Is in your mind now, still staying with 3 before we kind of move on, because who wouldn't want to talk about the bigger places out there? You know what I mean?
mm,
Um,
mm, mm.
is there a guy, since we're on the topic, without seeing yourself is there a guy on that roster right now, other than Chris Harris, other than James Black, who you see as being someone capable of holding that heavyweight championship, that main 3-dub title?
Um, well, not well, outside of myself, I gotta go with this guy. I know when he sees this, he's probably gonna hate me for it, and I'm probably getting a lot of text messages from him after this. Oh, it's gonna have to be Remy. Remy Shandor, the current European champion. He's good. He's pretty good. He's got that fire. He's got the backup. So that's the guy I could see being the next world heavyweight champion of Takedown.
Now that's kind of an interesting answer because you know what I'm going to say, right?
I know. I know.
Remy is a Spade, part of Chris Harris's stable.
I know. I know. And if you allow me to, I would like to give a reason as to why I think Remy could be the next world heavyweight champion. Yes, he is a Spade. Yes, he beat me for the European Championship, which I'm going to get back hopefully at one point. But Remy is also one of those very rare guys who has this fire, who quite literally, if you look at if you look at our work, we literally didn't go very easy on each other. We went in hard. He has that aggression, that will to go out there and just take what he needs. You know what I'm saying? He has that mindset. And I mean, we may have different mindsets, and he may be a Spade, but he's one of the very few who doesn't mind going in and throw a fight. That's what he did. I mean, he went. I mean, just watch what he did before the European Championship. Then you'll see what I mean.
I'm not as familiar with Remy. So I started watching him a little bit back when he was part of Vlad, Michaels, and Cruella's faction.
The Nightbreed.
The Nightbreed, yes. So I saw him a little bit then, but now does he do primarily written stuff or does he do video as well?
Well, he does primarily written. I mean, you've seen how me and Remy are when it comes to that. I mean,
do you think a guy that is not on screen, doesn't have a face in it, that strictly, is doing written promos and things, can actually, be the face of a company?
Well, that's what I want to disprove on. I've been on both sides, as you may well know. I've done videos here now and then, but I've also been doing written for a long time. Allow me to say this about the videos as written discussion. Yes, video makes things better, but I wouldn't say that written counts you out for that world title, because some guys have done amazing written stuff and have been world champions, but they just know that a written promo can also bring a image, allows you to do things that you normally couldn't do in a video. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could give you a setting, or you could describe your feeling, or you could tell a story. You could maybe even, with written promos, I even myself, if any EW guys are watching, who have seen me do video promos, you guys have seen how I've done my written, how deep I can go into that. Like, you can make it really deep and still make it entertaining. It doesn't always have to be a video.
The only thing I have today is that's a great art form, Sander. But in today's society, everything is about now. It's people don't have the attention span to sit there and read through a lot of these beautifully written, descriptive, written promos. They may have before, but it seems our community just isn't into it. So they need that audio, that visual. They need to stimulate those other senses. And these video promos do that, where a written one only basically grabs hold of particular type of people. That's why as soon as I saw you starting to do videos, that's an evolution,
Mm.
right? That's
Uh,
you
uh,
trying to get better, which means, possibly that the that the video ones maybe hold more merit. If you can hold that character, bring that to life for people and project through the images,
mm,
um,
mm, mm.
to me that seems to hold a little more merit today.
Well, that's where I kind of also disagree on. It holds more merits, yes, but again, I'm going back to my point. My written stuff have also seen me rise to the ranks with the European Championship, have made that title, and I'm not disrespecting Chris Harris here, but or Eric or Austin Eric, but it has made the European Championship was better last season because of how good my written stuff was, and I didn't even do a single video for it either. So that goes to show, and I mean, even this, it made me written superstar of the year again. Just that even goes to show that written promos are still very valuable in a
They are.
society like
I'm
this.
not saying they aren't. They are definitely entertaining, and it's great for mid card level people. You know what I mean? But
Mm, mm,
to that next level, you've got to either be able to do both well, excel at one and still do the other, or excel at both in order to really be that top guy. I think.
what I
Yeah.
think is this. Let's just say, and I'm saying this every time again because I could go on for hours and hours on about this. We should, while we should appreciate the video promos and should definitely continue them, I think that we should also keep on the written promos because believe me, some of those written promos are amazing, they are good, and there's definitely some guys who can do amazing written promos and can still reach World Heavyweight Championship material.
And speaking of
That's
great
my whole
written
point.
promos, I just got word
Mhm.
that one of probably the best written promo artists that I have ever seen
Mhm.
is in talks with HWA management about
Oh
coming
boy.
over.
Oh boy.
Now,
Okay, give.
when you think of the best written promos that you've seen, can you guess who I'm talking about?
The best written promo guy I've seen.
Doesn't necessarily have to be a guy.
Oh, so it can also be a girl. Okay. Does it have to be any particular company?
We're still on.
Or does it have to be Drita? Because that's kind of my question.
Just go with who you're thinking.
Just go with who I'm thinking. Okay, boy or girl? Well, I'm going
Iceman
to say.
3000 checking in. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank you for coming in, Iceman.
hi, dude. From the guys' side, and if I have to think about it, I may be thinking. This is a hard one. I don't want to say Remy, but maybe one of the guys who's behind many ideas. Maybe Devin Wade, or um, and
Devin
from the
Wade
girls,
from
um,
next
let me
was it next gen, new gen?
NGW, yeah.
Yep.
See, I knew it.
Okay.
And from the girls, I written Who did I see? Well, I'm going with a wild guess. You know what? I'm just gonna name drop her. I don't know if I get anything like that. I think maybe Sandy.
Nope, not Sandy. The one I'm thinking of has fought Sandy, Miss Nightshade.
Ooh, Miss Nightshade. Yeah, yeah. I saw one of. She's good too. Nightshade.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's, in my opinion, one of the best written male or female. Um,
Mm,
so she's in talks with HWA management, nothing for sure yet. And
all right.
also, is talking to the female roster. Another woman that we've been in talks with has been exclusively contracted to 3Dub, but she actually has reached out to us recently about coming over to 3Dub or from 3Dub to HWA.
All
First
right.
time ever looking into a different EFED.
All right. More talented, the better.
Current
More
women's
talented for me.
champion, Athena.
Uh. Oh boy, Tina. Oh.
Yep, looking to
She is.
extend her reach a little bit and finally, possibly flying from the nest and going to a different promotion. So those are two names that, possibly coming over to HWA as well.
I mean, I mean, there are two huge girls who can definitely change the women's division. I mean, if those two come, Crystal Frost, you better be ready because those two girls don't play around.
It seems like there's nobody on the HWA women's roster that can, even come close to beating Crystal Frost. You
Well,
know,
I mean, I could always ask one other girl. Well, if you know what I'm thinking about.
yeah, we haven't had Nora in ring. I know that she has been cleared to actually fight
Compete?
here. We've seen a lot of her coming out with you and things like that. So
I mean, I could try talking her.
I don't
I could
think
try.
I've seen Nora in the ring.
I mean, you should watch her stuff in NGW. I mean, she may be little, but she has a lot of fire. Like, she is. She's green. She definitely needs to learn like any other, but she can get there. Definitely. I can definitely see her be the next Aftershock Women's Champion, maybe.
All
Definitely.
right. Now you mentioned NGW. So
Yes. Let's please
NGW
continue.
is part of the 3WA network, correct?
Yes. Yes. Please. It's an amazing brand. I've been a part of it since I think after September. I think I joined right after I joined up on another company that kind of didn't work out so well, and ever since then I have been working with them for like months now, and yeah, we got two brands right now. We first had one. We have Overdrive and Aftershock. I'm on Overdrive. I'm on the top A brand, and Nora is on Aftershock,
Now
doing
every
her thing.
time that is brought up, you seem to be. I hear you perk up a little bit. I hear you getting pretty excited about it. Now,
I love it.
are you more excited about NGW because of your success there so far? Or is it
Um,
something else? Like, what about NGW to you um, would reach
what
out
makes
to
this?
me and tell me that I should watch it? Make me want to
What
watch NGW.
make you make you watch NGW? All right. Here is the unique part about NGW. We have matches and guys that you have never seen or never heard of or guys or girls who you think like why aren't those guys in higher places, Like NGW has this feeling, this fighting feeling of go out there, do your best, and if you fail, well, whatever. Go try and fight another guy and see how that goes. What I have been in that World Heavyweight Championship division of Overdrive for over months now. I've been trying for 4 months, haven't been successful. As a guy, Bobby Johnson. You're going down, by the way. At Resolution, but I have been found that division has been so good with talent that's just, I mean, if Bobby Johnson doesn't get contracted to either 3 or whatever, I don't know what will. But
Bobby Johnson.
Yeah, the current NGW World Heavyweight Champion, the guy I face this upcoming New Year's Eve.
Who is Bobby Johnson's handler? Just to shout out so people know who to keep an eye on. Who's his manager or?
Well, you can always contact Nick Blount. He's the manager. He's the general man. He is the guy who handles the contracts for all NGW talents.
So real quick, Sander, before we get back, don't have to finish talking about NGW, but I just got an interesting message that just came through to my Twitter feed that needs to get shown. So we see on the screen here, Black Rifle Company, the coffee. We saw the ad last night that Matt 8-Star, shout out to Matt 8-Star from 3Dub, the general manager of 3Dub. Great guy, one of the best out there. So if anyone watching hasn't been introduced to 3Dub yet, another one of our friends shows, Matt 8-Star doing that commercial, great little spot there. But I don't know if you can see the screen. Probably not.
I see it here. I see it here. I got it.
So I just got a message back from Black Rifle Coffee Company. Actually, this is their quote. I will check out the YouTube channel. Oh, that's awesome. I will check out the YouTube channel soon. Next order you make, use discount code blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to give the discount code because I don't want one of you subscribers stealing my discount on my next order of coffee. So that's kind of a cool little thing that they're reaching out and noticed that we have been showing them some love. So that's kind of a cool little fact.
Not giving everybody so you're keeping the discount to yourself. All right, that's you. That's you.
You know, maybe down the road. I see the little bass added in your voice there, Sander, which I like. You need a little more of that because it's going to help with your career. But because of that, I'm thinking of some sort of competition maybe where the winner will get, yours truly, SBJ, will send them a bag of Black Rifle coffee, or maybe a coffee mug that I already own. I'll order myself a new one, of course.
All right.
But something like that. So you think on some sort of a challenge, Sander, because you're great with ideas, or anyone else listening comes up with something that we can do. Through the YouTube channel or through our Hybrid Universe Facebook page. So kind of think on that. Yeah.
All right. I'll keep that in mind. I'll you know what? I'll come back to you on that. I'll definitely come back to you on that.
So back to NGW. What's going on over there? You mentioned one time when we talked something about a clown, a clown hypnotizing people, or CFT being thrown off a cage. How's that story sort of developed since last time we talked?
All right, so last time we talked. All right, so Ezra has been doing all over.
You had just beat CFT in a steel cage match, and he hurt his knee. Yeah, that was the last time we talked.
Yeah. So let me take you on from there. So After the match, I beat CFT. I injured him. I had a light concussion, as you know. So everything was good. I did the doctor check, take my rest. I mean, Nora's an amazing nurse sometimes. So I mean, Pandora here and there
What's
shows
with
up,
it with
but
you and Nora? Are you guys friends? I've seen a lot of risque comments coming from the likes of DTM and
uh,
Durgos. What is it with you two,
uh,
Sander?
oh, what
Put
is
you on the spot
I'm
right now. What is it
oh
with you
god,
guys?
oh god. You know, sometimes I really wish CFT. I should have shut them up. I mean, um, all right. So Nora and I mean, we've been together for like, I mean, you've known us for like the longest time, I think.
Right, but I still
Allow me to.
haven't figured the two of you out. I know she came
Well,
in, manager, friendship. You guys had a place in New York together.
yeah.
Roommates, partners,
been. I mean, I
lovers.
mean, that's kind of the thing. Let me tell you this. Yes, we still have that place in New York. We're still roommates together. I mean, she's one of the best. I mean, I love doing that stuff with her. But uh, recently, she came to me and I think it was this random Friday morning or something like that. I was getting ready for a match. I was running to go to Overdrive, brand split and all of that stuff. And okay, cool. And Nora was like sitting, and she was like, "Hey, dude, I gotta tell you something." And I was like, "All right, what you gotta tell?" And she kind of sat down and just said like, "All right, so I got feelings for you." You know what I'm saying? Like
Oh,
she said like, I mean, what she sees in me is this guy who treats her well, who doesn't shit on her like any other of the roster members there, and who just, well, I mean, I'm too polite. You kind of know how that went.
yeah, apparently, nice guys don't always finish last, Sander, because you're one of
Well,
the nicer ones I met, and it looks like you may be getting the girl in the end of
eh,
this story. All
well,
right.
I actually got her because she kind of announced it. I think the day after in NTW that we we got into a relationship. So
Ah, is it
yeah,
Facebook
so
official?
not really. I mean, we're keeping
It's
it kind
kind
of
of a new
private, you
thing.
know.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
kind
because
of
I
getting used to it.
apparently with the kids these days, that's how you know it's really official is when you when you change your Facebook status, right? All
I
right.
still haven't seen I still haven't seen CFD's Facebook status change. So I mean,
Okay.
and he's one of the older ones between the three of us. So I mean,
His relationship status is in relationship with himself. I think.
no,
I
no, no.
think
He has this fiance.
we all know of Victoria.
Yeah, we all know
But
that.
I think that he loves himself and loves his money more than any human um, that's out there.
I mean,
So
we can't disagree with that. If he really if he really loved her, we would have already gotten a wedding. But I think that wedding would be more with his money than or with himself than with her.
I don't know. Maybe he puts an engagement ring on his right hand from himself, wears one on his right, one on his left. Um,
uh,
CFT's not here
uh,
to defend himself. He did show up last night during the broadcast.
yeah.
Always has
I'm sure
some
we'll
nice
probably
things
meet
to
him.
say to people. But
I mean,
all right, let's
we'll
get back.
probably.
We got sidetracked there.
Sorry about
This
that.
isn't Dr. Phil. This isn't Maury. I was just curious there, and I know a lot of the
I mean,
fans around the world have been too, watching this Nora and Sander Cool saga develop. So let's get back. Again, you
uh,
toss
all right.
Clarence Fletcher Townsend off
Off
a
the steel
cage
cage.
to get the win. You climbed out. You won. You had a mild concussion. He's, I think, still recovering from a
No, no,
knee
no, no. I got
injury,
an
or
up. Well, I mean, since CFT, CFT got minister, CFT always updates everybody because, I mean, at least he does that. I mean, he kind of has to.
I try not to
Um,
listen to him talk all the time. I mean, I should,
Me neither,
because
but
of my
I mean,
position in the community. I should pay more attention to the players, but just CFT, sometimes
yeah.
I need to take a break from him.
Woo!
Oh, look
Hey,
who's on.
hey, hey, Dragon. Hey, Matthias. How doing? Yeah. Well, to get back to you on that. Allow me to get back. He came out and a little while later and said that he had an injured shoulder. Was out for a good 3 to 4 weeks, maybe, something like that. And he recovered at home, I think, with Victoria and the rest of Townsend Enterprises. I keep forgetting their names, really. So
There's so
that's
many of them. At this
yeah,
point, they're just like, the Royal Army faction. There's just so many of them. It's like NWO near their closing days, where it just seems like everyone was part of them, and it's just not really relevant anymore. To be honest, it's just
yeah, true.
growing too big,
Yeah.
too many of them. That it's like they're just hiring random names now at this point.
Yeah, they're trying to keep the relevancy going, but you can obviously see CFT is getting desperate.
Yeah, they're bringing in everybody just because they keep losing. They should have focused on the main five guys and just left it at that or something. One tag team and a
Yeah.
few singles competitors. But anyways, neither
All
here
right.
nor there.
But then, yeah, here they are. But let me continue. Later on the night, Bobby Johnson won from Draco to end the then vacant NGW World Championship because KD King Dominator went to the main roster and won the GWH United States Championship and therefore had to relinquish the NGW World Championship.
Now, Matthias, to answer your question, we're just chatting. This is just an impromptu get together. I sitting up drinking coffee and bored. I'm snowed in. We've got 2 feet of snow out there already, and it's just pounding down. So I couldn't make it in to the HWA headquarters. So I wanted to jump in, and Sanders here. So we're talking 3-dub. We're talking title holders. We're talking NGW. Maybe we'll talk about Durgos. We're talking about relationships. Whatever comes up, we're just chatting. So if whoever's watching, if you got a question for Sander, you want to make a comment, heck, if you want to jump in and jump online and throw your mic on and be part of the talk, let's do it. Open forum this morning.
For this morning. I mean, again, SBJ, if we can make this a thing, that would be awesome. If we can, we kind of should have looked into that. Maybe we can do. Maybe we can make something into this. Maybe not. We
This
should
is
talk
my
about that.
channel. I can do whatever I want to do.
Agreed. But to get back on track. So after that pay-per-view was said and done, I think the overdrive after that. I walked into my match. I did my match. I think I kind of won that. And I walked out, and I came across the general manager, Andrew Webb. He does both brands, really. He does the logistics, the title matches, you name it, he does it. He's a fair general manager, but he's a hard one. And I walked into his office, and let me just say this: me and Andrew Webb have this common idea of fairness. We have this idea of, hey, if for example, yeah, for example, SNK had won the second world title, but KD didn't get his rightful rematch. So he made KD versus SNK in a one-on-one match with no one allowed to be at ringside to make it a fair one-on-one world title match. Just to give a little simple idea of how he kind of runs things. He came to me and he was like, "Hey, dude, I know you had I know you had like 3 or 2 chances for the world title. I know you failed, but allow me to do this. You have one final chance. It's all or nothing, and if you lose, then, well, that's it. But if you win, then if you win from Bobby Johnson, then you'll win the NGW World Heavyweight Championship or the NGW Overdrive Championship. Now CFT on the other hand, um,
CFT is a special
yeah,
man.
so agreed. But CFT has been recovering. He has a match with Bloody Brackwell. If he wins, he becomes the #1 contender for the world title. So yeah, that's kind of also what's been happening. To get sidetracked again, Matthias, I guess you could try it. I mean, mine is working, but that's kind of special too, so...
All right, so NGW now is what, leading into Resolution along with the rest
Resolution.
of 3W. Okay, or 3WA, sorry.
Yeah,
So
so...
I've got the Resolution match card in front of me. Now, you seem to be a great mind when it comes to NGW. I don't know their roster particularly well, but let's kind of go down the match card here a little bit. So,
alright.
a lot of these names I'm not familiar with.
Again, that's why you gotta watch them, because there are some guys on there, absolutely top talent.
So, DC Collins versus Luke Walker. Is that lower card, mid card? What type of competitors are these two, DC and Luke?
Let me see. This is, I think, for the All-American title, if I'm correct, right? If I got the match card here too, because you know.
Yes, yep, All-American title. Is that what level?
Title.
What level of title is that within?
So that's one of the mid-card titles that we have. The All-American title
okay.
is like for one of it's for the it's for everybody, but it's mostly for the Americans. Oh, hey, look who's jumping in.
Durgos is jumping in.
Hey, buddy.
All right, here's Durgos.
Hey,
all right.
All right,
should get interesting with Durgos and Sander both mic'd up. As long as you're not within arm's reach of each other, I suppose it's safe.
Don't worry, we won't fight this time.
Okay.
Right, Durgos?
Is Durgos in NGW as well? You get to see each other there too?
I think you just arrived, didn't you?
I thought I saw a little poster there with the dragon face on it. Was that NGW or was that somewhere else?
That wasn't. Yeah,
okay,
NGW,
okay. I thought that's where I saw that at. I just started following their page. Sander actually got me kind of excited about it and put the name NGW in my mind. So I've been trying to follow their page a little bit. So we've got the All-American title match coming up. We're talking Resolution. I don't see Durgos on there, so it doesn't look like you'll be making your debut there until after, perhaps.
Yeah, Durgos you're after. So I think you will definitely be after the Resolution pay-per-view. I think we'll start. I think the Overdrive is. I think in the new year we will start again with shows. So.
All right. So back to the card, so we can get through it. Looks like a ton of matches on this card.
Yeah.
So the All-American title match: DC Collins versus Luke Walker, mid-title area. We got some women here. We've got Miss Nora taking on Oksana. I'm not really familiar with who Oksana is, but.
Me neither, but.
Keep an eye on that because I know who Nora is, so I'm looking forward to seeing her in ring finally. No better place to do it than to watch it on a pay-per-view.
Exactly.
We know Drago and we know Jay Stone. Looks like a non-title match between those two big boppers there, sort of brawler style. That's going to be more of a fight than a wrestling match. Am I reading this right? CFT versus Brody Blackwell?
Yes, that's the match I was talking about earlier. The #1 contender match for the world title.
How is CFT in a #1 contender match for the main title?
Well, allow me to say this. Webb somehow thinks that having CFT if he wins, allow me to say this again, if he wins, Webb somehow thinks that it's a smart idea to make him the #1 contender for the world title. I don't know what goes on in that head of Webb sometimes, but
I don't know either. I mean, I guess um, NGW is kind of like an NXT, correct? Sort of that
correct,
level of
yes.
promotion.
Yeah.
Okay, so
yeah,
I
yeah.
guess if it's like a lower promotion than the major title, CFT is not going to be a main title contender in a major, primary EFED promotion. So, I mean, I guess it works for an NGW sort of level
I
show.
mean, he has improved. So so
I see
I
that,
guess
but he's too green still to be a major title contention. And
agreed.
I've been in the industry 30 plus years. That's that's kind of a gimmicky thing. I take it. Um, so women's title match. It says Tiffany
Yeah,
versus Iva
yeah,
Cyanide. Um, Tiffany, as
yeah.
in Tiffany Rivers.
Tiffany Rivers, yes, the
Okay, I
old
didn't know
lady.
she was back in wrestling again. She's got to be pushing 40 years old.
50. She's 50. I
50.
heard. Yes.
Joe Rivers isn't 50.
Apparently,
Yeah,
I
I
heard it
thought
say.
Joe was only like 42 or so. I didn't know he was
I'm not
up
saying
in the
anything. I'm
50s.
just hearing it. I'm just
Okay.
hearing it.
Okay, that's a little old to. Maybe she's making sort of a Legends appearance or something. I figured her
I
in-ring
don't know,
career
but
would be over with Joe's. Um, okay, so Tommy Harris, you mentioned, was a good friend of yours,
best
taking
friend of mine.
on Crimson. I'm not sure who Crimson is.
Ooh, Crimson is this pissed off wolf type guy who just goes
Wolf type
ham all
guy.
the time. Yeah, I mean, Diego and I have know a thing or two about an unhinged wolf.
Okay. Is that Crimson Wolf?
No. That's not
Different
Crimson.
guy. Okay, because you
There's
got
a
me
different
excited
guy.
there.
There are
Because
two sep.
I'll buy a ticket to watch
No.
Crimson Wolf.
There are two different guys, really. There's two
Okay.
different Crimsons.
All right, a little less excited. Tommy Harris is no doubt good in the ring, and I know he's a close friend of yours, so maybe I'll tune in for that one. NGW television title Best of 7
Yeah.
match. There's not
This has been
7
very
matches 7 times people fighting on one card.
No. It's the series that has been going on. These two have been screwing each other over in the TV title scene. I mean, it's been mayhem in that scene, and these two, they just want to settle it. So Webcase said them, all right, go into that ring. You guys have 7 chances to beat one another. You guys have 7 matches. The winner of that 7 matches will be the ultimate TV title champion at the end of it.
And that's Alex Avalos versus, I can't pronounce this. Heckley?
Helinki. Basically,
Helinki, okay.
the Spanish, the Spanish motorcycle guy versus the, I think, Russian something. I keep forgetting his name.
Okay, fair enough.
So,
Interesting enough name, so maybe worth watching there. Adrenaline
definitely.
Rush Championship. Taylor
Ooh.
Bourne versus Jacob Cross. Now, Jacob Cross, isn't he one of Jody Kidd's proteges?
Yeah,
in the
it's
Jody
that
Kidd
Jacob
camp?
Rush, yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
kind of
it's
a
that guy.
beastly monster guy.
Exactly.
Scary dude, hardcore type of guy. Now, the Adrenaline
Yeah.
Rush Championship, is that what that title is? Is that like a hardcore sort of division?
It's like, yeah, it's kind of like, if you want a close comparison. It also has a unique component as to if you like win the title, you can also do some move up stuff with it. So it's definitely an interesting title
Okay.
concept. I think I can go into the detail. I think a guy like Dirgos could definitely flourish in a Adrenaline title.
Dergos,
Division.
do you know what division you're going to be in yet? Has Webb or other management gotten a hold of you and told you what division you're going to be competing in? Nothing yet. It's kind of a brand new. They just wanted you to be there, sort of thing. Okay. There you go.
I think
Fair
you
enough.
definitely do. I think you can definitely give the Adrenaline Rush Championship division some good stuff because man, those guys they're gonna need somebody who can kick their asses.
Now,
Jesus.
before we get down to the rest of the card, now that we have Durgos on here, I've never had you live before, mic'd up with me, but I was mentioning earlier, talking to Sander about how I've been watching him improve over the last couple of years. You're a guy as well that I've had my eye on, um, and you have definitely taken huge strides. Some would say that you've even possibly outshined and improved more than Sander has, um, especially your video promos. Now, I was making a point that the video promos, especially nowadays, stand out beyond most of the written stuff. And to me, again, you've proven my case. Do you think that you are better than Sander Cool?
He's
Put
definitely
you on
is.
the spot here.
I know it.
Okay, so you
I know it.
do you plan on breaking away, going to NGW? Is this part of you breaking away from your brother and possibly starting that singles career chase? Like we saw you going at it with Sinister. It was a tough loss there. Great match, but a tough loss in HWA. We've seen you going back and forth with, of all people, I mean, I see Sander going at James Black. I see you and Devil Dog sort of having whatever you guys have going on over in 3Dub. Um, you guys are definitely shooting for the stars, per se, but, that's what you need to do. So, great job. That's showing no fear. You're just going for it. So I just wanted to tell you, personally, face to face, that I noticed how much better you are getting, um, and I've seen you doing great things over in like these promo leagues, and that seems to has really helped you as well. Um, so good job, and I look forward to it. And I was asking before I started rambling if you are planning on taking on more of a solo career.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that story. I
Yeah,
remember that story.
you
I
you
remember
and
that story you
Sander
told me.
have been sort of going at it too. So it's a great example, a great guy to watch for sure. One of the
I
best
mean,
and one of the most theatrical out there. We're talking again for those tuning in, talking to Sander and Durgos right now, and we were just dipping into. So shout out to Dylan Mason, one of my all-time favorite. Um, say what you will about the guy, but he's definitely one of those top names that should be holding the major titles somewhere. And it sucks that 3Dub just lost him because I don't know where else to go to be able to follow his art now that UCW doors have closed, and now that he left 3Dub, so I'm not exactly sure where to go get my Dylan Mason fix.
same. I think to get you on that story of the breaking up of the resistance, I was there that night because that night as well. I'll save that for another Origin episode where I go into more depth.
Yeah, definitely will.
Uh,
We'll save that for when you're on for Origins, and
yeah,
maybe now that Durgos knows his mic will work, maybe Durgos would like to sign up to participate. After watching a few episodes of Origins, seeing what
I
it's
think
all about. So.
I think Digos, if you're up for it, maybe we can set a date together. Maybe we can talk about Origins together. Because see, see,
He doesn't
I'm
like
sorry,
being
no,
put
but
on the spot like that, huh?
uh,
Especially hard
uh,
talking in character with that mask on for a long period of time, I bet. I like that. Yep, I like that. Yep, that's good. Yep.
mm.
Yeah,
I
it
remember
helps
from,
bring out the inner dragon. I like it. With
but
myself, you see, every time I'm talking, even in my picture here on the screen, I've got my headset on, um, and I'm gonna go out and buy a new suit perhaps here, so I'm not sitting here in a t-shirt while I'm home. I'll have my
as you
trademark
safety for
suit on that I've got there. Yeah, maybe
yeah, but
CFT doesn't like me very much, so I don't think he'll
true,
be
but
giving me a suit
to
anytime
get back
soon.
to that story, to get back to the story, so he won the United. You told how you won the United States title. He won that off of me. He literally beat me for the
Oh,
United States title.
okay.
I rem-
I didn't know
at
that
X
piece.
at exactly the pay-per-view that's literally gave me mixed stats. I won one time. I lost, I think, like 2 times thanks to Darius over here. So,
So
yeah. So
should I
that
be
was.
watching in HWA, keeping my eye on the Resistance? You guys have been climbing, and you're actually scheduled. Who are you taking on in episode 15? Um, okay, so this is a very intriguing matchup in episode 15 that just became official. It hasn't been posted yet to the page, but it's going to be Resistance taking on the Wolf Lair. So, two of the top tag teams. Um, I know both of you are kind of trying to climb the ladder to take on the Inglorious Bastards for that title in HWA. But should I be keeping an eye on a collapse of the Resistance instead of a rise in that tag division?
I
Okay,
agree with that.
he's keeping uh, the mysterious line going here. I see. Okay, but
But let's continue with the
big
NG.
match
But let's
there.
continue with the NG.
Sure, go ahead.
Let's continue with that NGW match card because we got a few more matches going on
All right,
there.
where was I? We were talking Jacob Cross. Now,
Yeah.
after that, there's one name that I recognize from this next match. So, I've got Trevor Valentine taking on Mark
Ooh.
Barrett. Now, Mark Barrett, I know is a CFT guy. I've seen him in IWA, I believe, with CFT, Ryan Steele and company. Mark Barrett, an up and comer. Um, he's been having some sort of words with Devil Dog over there. I think Devil Dog more playing mind games with him and not really thinking that he's on Dee Dee's level. Because in the tag match that Barrett was and Devil Dog was, Devil Dog basically wiped the floor with Barrett, and then made Will King tap out, and he didn't even get touched in that match. It was supposed to be a tag match, but Devil Dog basically handled both of the opponents and didn't even get hit. So I don't know. Barrett's an up and comer, but he's not on any sort of anyone's real radar at this point yet. Um, And then it looks like there's a 6-man elimination match. Um,
Yeah, that match just has my
is that
attention
the
also.
UK versus Chaos Nation? So is that 3 from each faction? Is that what am I reading that right?
Three from each faction. Yes, it's the Chaos Nation, which is Bobby Johnson, his stable, and the UK, which CFT is also part of. I think
Bobby
Andrew Webb,
Johnson is the current champion at NGW, correct?
the NGW World Champion.
World
Yes,
champion.
and they
Okay.
also have a tag team in the Chaos Nation. Don't know exactly their names, but the UK is a stable consisting of Andrew Webb, who kind of kept him, in guard. You know what I'm saying?
I thought the Webb was the general manager
Yeah,
of the
he's also
show,
the general manager. Apparently, he has
and
like a
he's a
double contract or something.
competitor.
Yeah, some kind of double contract type thing, something I don't know.
Okay. Kind of
Um,
screwy there, I think.
yeah, I mean, as long as he does it fair, it's all good. Van Diver, and I think we have Ryan
Van
Shaw
Diver,
in
is
there.
that villain Van Diver? Or
No, it's this Russian guy.
okay.
So, and I think Ryan Shaw's going to compete in that as well.
Ryan
Yeah,
Shaw.
Ryan Shaw.
I
Yeah,
thought he was
not a.
suspended for drug use.
Yeah, but he came clean and came back, and then he almost beat me. I
Okay,
say
so
almost
the
because I'm going to
big
face him
biker man's
again.
back again. Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
the big biker man is back.
is he still affiliated with Michael Blaze and them or no?
From what I heard, he's still with CFT, he's still with Townsend Enterprises, and generally
All right,
he's a
so
complete
not with
dick.
Michael Blaze. Okay. Um,
Yeah.
there's a tag team title match here, Aftershock tag title match. MCO versus High Voltage. Not sure who those guys
John
are.
MCO is, I think, are this motorcycle club guys. I mean, we have a lot of motorcycle clubs. Right? Geez, get
I
original.
see that.
And
Yeah.
high voltage is, well, they're an interesting tag team because they have been the tag team. They've been trying to get the tag team titles for so long that, my God, those guys have been killing it and killing it and killing it and just doing whatever they can. And I mean, they even helped me out at some point. I think MCO did that as well at some point. So, yeah, I gotta stay neutral on this one. I gotta stay neutral on this one.
All right, so that brings us up to what I'm guessing is going to be the main event of the evening
The main
for,
event, yes,
and we're
yes,
talking
yes.
for those just tuning in, talking with Sander and Durgos right now. We're going over the NGW um, Resolution pay-per-view match card a little bit. Again, give a thumbs up if you haven't already for anyone that's on. Click that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Any questions, feel free to shoot it over in the comments section. But again, talking about NGW's upcoming pay-per-view Resolution with Sander Cool. We're down to the main event, one that you're part of, Sander.
Yeah,
So Sander Cool versus the current champion Bobby Johnson. You got there by defeating CFT, I hear. Is that correct?
yes, when I defeated CFT after the show, and after the match on Overdrive, I got Web gave me my final chance for the for the NGW Overdrive Championship. So if I win, I become the new NGW World Champion, and if Bobby Johnson retains, then I probably don't get another chance for it for a long time.
Okay. So hopefully you get your game face on for that one, right?
Well, I got ready. Webb gave me a reason to unleash everything upon Bobby Johnson. So if whether Bobby Johnson's ready or not, I'm going to come for that world title and I'm going to give him everything I got. He's got some punches coming, and when Webb said that one of us is going to the hospital, well, that's going to happen. Believe me that. So,
Alright, so, yeah, sorry about that. I'm just tagging a couple people in this video since we've talking about NGW quite a bit. I tagged the owner, Nick Plowden, over there so he can hear what's being said about his show and us kind of covering his pay-per-view match card. So we're an hour and 10 minutes into this, so let's kind of get ready to close this down. If we go too long, people don't like to tend to listen to it, or they see how long it is and will shut down. So I don't want to keep dragging this out. We can do this again.
definitely.
But my coffee cup, for those of you watching here, you remember the commercial that we had in the last episode, episode 14. If you haven't watched episode 14 yet, go right over to it. It'll be right there in the Hybrid Universe playlist for everyone. It was the most recent show that we had. All the episodes are about an hour long, some even less. Go ahead, watch them. Click that like button, subscribe to the channel. Lots of good action, including from these two gentlemen that are on with us right now, Durgos and Sander Cool. Get yourself some Black Rifle coffee at right there you see on the screen somewhere, blackriflecoffee.com. Not an official sponsor, but they should be. My cup is empty, so let's end this program. Appreciate you guys jumping in here. If you guys liked this type of show, it's not quite an Origins, it's just an impromptu thing. But thank you all for tuning in, those that do. Like, subscribe, and look forward to seeing the rest of you on hopefully this Saturday's Origins with Robbie Regal, and then the following week, Wednesday, Thursday, for episode 15. That's it. Stephen Benoit Jericho signing off. Anything you want to say, Sander, before we stop this broadcast?
Well, thank you guys for watching. SBJ, I hopefully see you at episode 15 for the commentary job that we always do together. I'll try to be there. Nor will try to be there. So I'll definitely see you on commentary when episode 15 hits. And
yeah, I don't think you're on the match card, so that would be a perfect day to kind of sit in, relax, come in your blue suit, and you know, chat it up and call the match with me. I look forward to that. But Sander, thank you for jumping in. Dergos, appreciate you stopping in, man. It was nice having you finally mic up and be part of this. So take it easy, guys, and that's the end of the broadcast.